Reaction time, reaction time. Let's do some reactions. This video is like really weird because like I've been messing with my settings all day, trying to get this mic to sound like a good mic, and it's just so weird. But yeah guys, we're gonna react to or watch 10 WWE wrestlers injured by sheer negligence of wrestling companies. So yeah, y'all, let's go ahead and get to that video. Let's get it.
Whilst it's up to wrestlers themselves to keep each other safe in the squared circle, it's also up to wrestling companies to ensure that the wrestlers are safe and the risk of injury or harm is as small as humanly possible. Over the years, top wrestling companies have missed the mark in terms of keeping wrestlers safe, and this has resulted in some rather severe injuries taking place. Join us now as WrestleMania looks at 10 times WWE wrestlers were injured due to sheer negligence by a wrestling company. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out WrestleMania.co.uk and a non-wrestling channel.
Don't enforce safety, you know.
Number 10, The Undertaker in 2001. The Sledgehammer is synonymous with the game Triple H, but what a strong portion of fans don't know up until 2001,
why did he do that like he got hit for real?
WrestleMania 17 is that Triple H used a fake sledgehammer. The reason for the change was due to an accident during Triple H's match with The Undertaker. As Taker was about to perform the last ride on Triple H, the game used a sledgehammer as a weapon. However, this prop malfunctioned, resulting in the dead man receiving a brutal cut on the face. It's commonly believed that the sledgehammer had a pre-existing sharp edge on the wood, which should have been checked before the weapon was authorized to be used in the match.
Wow.
Whilst not a life-altering injury like some of the injuries on this list, this was an incident that should have been avoided. Number 9, Jake
Can
the
you
Snake
imagine
Roberts.
like doing like a stunt or whatever you want to call this, and it's supposed to be like all staged and acted out, it's not supposed to be real, and then it actually ends up hurting somebody because you didn't check the equipment before doing the stunt or the act? Oh my god. Or it just becomes fatal, but it's accident, it's an accidental thing. Oh my god. Ugh.
Speaking of WWE props malfunctioning, this was the case during the build to WrestleMania 3. Jake the Snake Roberts had just turned babyface and he was about to embark on a feud with the Honky Tonk Man. The feud between the two would escalate on an episode of the Snake Pit where Roberts would be laid out by a guitar shot. WWE decided to use a real guitar instead of a prop one, meaning that Roberts seriously hurt his neck as a result. Roberts would later reveal that this was the beginning of his problems with addiction medication, as he was in so much pain. There have been claims over the years that the real guitar was gimmicked in a way which would cushion the blow, but Roberts' long-term damage from the guitar shot are a clear indication that whatever WWE did didn't work. Now, the guitar was actually bought by Pat Patterson's partner at the time, who believed that Vince would want a high-quality guitar, hence the way you couldn't even see it crack when it hit Jake Roberts' neck. Number 8, AJ Styles. WrestleMania sets are traditionally extravagant and grand, but the WrestleMania 38 set resulted in one of WWE's top stars, AJ Styles, receiving a serious gash on his face. As AJ Styles made his entrance for his match against Edge, AJ walked straight into the enormous star that WWE had placed on the entranceway. The cut was rather deep and it could have seriously impacted the match, as WWE have a strict no blood policy. According to SmackDown commentator Pat McAfee, due to AJ's injury, WWE producers had to inform talent that they needed to watch where they walked upon making their entrance. This is something that should have been worked out when designing and implementing the set, but clearly WWE believed that the star-shaped symbol wouldn't result in any issues. Number 7, Triple H. Triple H during his career has enjoyed a special entrance at WrestleMania. However, his entrance at WrestleMania 29 went badly wrong. As the game made his way down to the ring to take on Brock Lesnar, WWE would incorporate super cold carbon dioxide as part of the entrance, and the plan was for it to turn into ice when making contact with Triple H's skin. Whilst this idea sounded great on paper, upon execution it left one of WWE's most iconic stars with second-degree burns. Fans had no idea that Triple H was seriously hurt, and somehow the game managed to complete the planned match with Lesnar without a hitch. This was a huge mess on behalf of WWE, as it was brought into question on how on earth something of this magnitude could happen with what seemed to be a rather simple entrance. Number 6.
That's
Kurt
why they say when
Angle.
you handle that stuff to
SummerSlam
wear
2000
gloves.
represented Kurt Angle's first pay-per-view main event
Imagine
in
that being on
WWE.
your
Angle would take on The Rock and Triple H
skin
in a
like
triple
that.
threat match, and the match was a clear sign that Angle was as tough as they come. One of the most notable spots in the match was to see Triple H perform a pedigree onto Angle through the announce table. However, there was just one issue. The table gave way, meaning that Angle's head landed awkwardly on the floor. Angle suffered a serious concussion, so much so that he had zero idea where he was.
Oh,
The WWE announce table simply wasn't reinforced enough to withstand the weight of both Triple H and Angle.
Who didn't
That's
check that
ultimately
table?
why the serious injury occurred. According to Angle, he had to literally be talked through every single spot in the match as he was completely out of it. Thankfully, WWE have drastically altered their concussion protocol, therefore if this type of incident happened today, Angle would receive immediate medical attention and it would have been ruled that he was unable to compete. Number 5. Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon's collision with Kurt Angle at the 2001 King of the Ring event is known for being one of the most brutal matches of the 2000s. During the street fight encounter, Angle and Shane would perform a spot where Angle would suplex Shane through panels of glass. It's sugar glass, which is relatively safe and something that WWE have used numerous times before. The issue was that this wasn't sugar glass, this was real plexiglass. A member of the WWE production crew had somehow accidentally implemented the wrong type of glass for the match. Shane was seriously hurt following the incident and needed over 50 stitches. The brutality on display was so bad that Vince McMahon almost stopped the match so his own son could receive medical assistance. Number 4. The British Bulldog. The WCW run of the British Bulldog was an absolute disaster. Firstly because WCW seemingly had no idea what to do with him, and secondly because Bulldog suffered a career-altering injury due to no fault of his own. During the opening match at the Fall Brawl pay-per-view in 1998, Bulldog would team with Jim Neidhart against the Dancing Fools, and this was when Bulldog's injury would occur. Whilst taking bumps in the match, Bulldog landed twice on a trapdoor which had been set up underneath the ring canvas. The trapdoor was to enable the Warrior to make a special entrance during the main event. These bumps resulted in Bulldog developing a spinal infection that nearly paralyzed him. Bulldog was then forced to spend 6 months in hospital, and whilst recovering, Bulldog received a FedEx informing him of his WCW release. This was one of the worst examples of company negligence, and WCW had no remorse whatsoever for the Bulldog's injuries. Number 3. Nikki Bella. Neck injuries are one of the most serious injuries a wrestler can suffer, and in 2016, Nikki Bella was forced to undergo surgery due to extensive damage on her neck. According to Nikki in her memoir, WWE were rather negligent in how they approached Nikki's injury. She revealed that WWE insisted that the MRI wouldn't show anything substantial, despite Nikki being in immense pain. Nikki added, "I asked for an MRI, but they told me that it wouldn't show anything. They had no answer when I explained that my legs were going numb and giving out on me in matches, that I could only lie down in bed for a few hours at a time. Finally, I had an MRI. It was in Austin, Texas, and I was backstage. A doctor came up to me to say, 'Just so you know, we're not going to find anything.' I would have given anything for that to be true. I was really frustrated because I felt if I were a male superstar, I'd be getting radically different treatment instead of being instructed just to sit at home and pray." Thankfully, Nikki listened to her own body and was able to get the surgery and subsequent treatment she badly needed. Number 2. The Undertaker in 2010. The legendary Undertaker is well established for being one of the most respected names in wrestling. Throughout his career, Undertaker would work through injuries and sicknesses as he was a conscience of WWE and he believed that he always needed to put on a performance for the fans. However, in 2010, the dead man suffered an injury which was down to sheer incompetence on behalf of WWE. The dead man's iconic pyro malfunctioned during his entrance at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. The Undertaker would suffer first and second degree burns and his hat and coat were virtually destroyed. The burns were so painful that the Undertaker had to apply cold water whilst in the chamber pod. It is believed that the individual responsible for Undertaker's pyro was fired with immediate effect. According to the dead man, he had given a prior warning to the individual weeks prior as the pyro was seemingly getting too close to the Undertaker's body. And number 1, CM Punk. Most of the allegations of WWE being negligent towards CM Punk can be found in court documents.
Alright, my bad, y'all, I'm back. It froze, but I didn't even notice that it froze on my end. It froze. So You didn't really miss anything because it was towards the end of the video anyways. But going back to the whole Triple H entrance thing with the carbon dioxide, like, what were they thinking? Like, you, with dry ice, when it comes to dry ice, you have to handle that with gloves. So what were they thinking when the carbon dioxide made contact with the skin? And it was sitting on his you know, it was sitting on his skin for a minute. So what were they thinking? Like he said, like, it sounded like a cool idea, like it was supposed to freeze on his skin, and I don't fucking know. It sounds like some like anime video game type shit. Like, he's supposed to flex and then the ice is gonna shatter and go in like different directions. I don't know what the hell they were thinking, but somebody should have known, like, carbon dioxide on skin, probably not a good idea. But yeah, really interesting video. Leave some comments down below, let me know what you guys think, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.